So,
Well, can I call it? Do you mind every once in a while just throw it in there?
I think it's the new name for me.
What do your friends, adult friends now call you?
I make sure that everyone calls me Macklemore.
Did you?
My mom, dad. No, it's Ben for anyone.
Yeah.
It's Ben. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it's Ben.
Well, then we'll call you Macklemore. Do you remember, like, when it all started for you? Were people calling you Macklemore?
I think people have called me that today.
So
yes.
It's not Macklemore.
No.
It's Macklemore.
Yes.
Because they don't want to get
Very
the
confusing. If I could go back and change my rap name, I would definitely do it.
How did you come up with your rap name?
Oh, it's an uneventful story. I was assigned what was it? It was a action figure in graphic arts class, and we had to name him, and I named him Professor Macklemore. That summer, I then went to Brooklyn, New York for an art program when I was 17, and I started coincidentally going to thrift shops and dressing up in random old clothes, and I would go out in Brooklyn and usually drink some malt liquor and call myself Professor Macklemore, and that is where it all started.
I love it. And by the way, just when you say thrift shop, it just
I know, brings back all those
even.
memories.
No, just your voice. Like even his speaking voice throws me onto an album. I want you to talk about a moped. We had a fantastic weekend when you came out on stage with Kesha.
Yeah, it was awesome.
How'd you guys link up?
She was working on Praying with Ryan, and she was up in Seattle, and she had an off day. And Ryan had kind of linked us, I believe. Someone gave Kesha my number, and she texted me, and we're kind of going back and forth. And I loved it because from the jump, we talked on the phone, met each other on the phone, and then she just started sending me voice memos of random melody ideas and random lyrics. I think she was sick at the time, but was like still sending these voice memos to me. Just super comfortable with herself, completely vulnerable. We got in the studio and just, caught that magic.
And it is magic. It's called Good Old Days. We love Glorious, too.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thank you.
Glorious and Good Old Days, two of the tracks. When he says Ryan, he's not talking about Tedder. He's not talking about Reynolds. He's talking about Lewis. Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
What is it? This is like when you release an album, what is that feeling? Gemini is out. It's out now. You said just before we went on the air, it's like having a child into the universe.
Yeah.
Is that truly what it feels like?
It really is. It's something that for the same amount of time I've been working on this child for 9 months in the studio, and then you get to put it out into the universe, and it's a magical feeling to be able to watch people resonate with these records and find joy in the art that you've created in the same way that I had the joy making the songs. And you always like your own music, or else I wouldn't put it out on an album. So to see people, like my favorite song is this one, and I'm like, that's my favorite song too, and it's always fun.
Well, I remember when you released Downtown, right? Okay, so I was traveling for Idol auditions for a couple years ago now, and it's funny when you have a song that comes out and you immediately fall in love with the track. I remember vividly jogging every single day in Denver, listening to it on repeat. I would do my whole run to that one song.
That's awesome.
But it's true that people connect on so many different levels for so many different reasons when they hear a song. So when you perform tracks for the first few times and you see the audience giving it back to you, what's that magic like?
That's great, because usually when you debut a song, before anybody's heard it, the audience is just kind of staring at you.
They're like, what's next?
And I'm in my head like, oh, they hate me.
Right.
But eventually it starts to catch on, and it's been really cool at Glorious too. Radio has been really supportive. iHeart's been super supportive, and to watch that song catch on with radio, and then that trickles down to the people, of course. And to watch people sing along with that, it's just so fun. There's no better feeling than to slowly start to see the progression of people learning the words to it and rapping along and singing the chorus. Like, I love that.
I gotta tell you, the music video you did for Glorious with your grandma, I was in tears watching it. It was so moving.
Thank you.
She's how wise now?
She's 100 years wise.
That is good genes, bro.
Was that just fun? Was that the best video to shoot ever?
It was the stripper scene was extremely awkward. I couldn't really watch. There was like half of the crew that was like, I can't even watch this right now. I just kept kind of poking my head out from behind the kitchen and observing the stripper. And then we told him like, yo, this has to be PG.
Yeah.
Do not go over the top. And this guy just straight up went full genuine.
We have to put up the video on our site right now because people need to see what we're talking about. It's at kissfm.com to check it out. So with your grandma, with your wife, now you have a baby.
Yeah.
Do you, and some of your lyrics are not necessarily PG-12.
This is true.
So does that change at all considering the context of your life or not?
You know, that's a good question, Ryan. It's a topic of conversation in my household.
Really?
Mostly coming from my mom. She's like, you have a baby.
You can't.
What are you saying? I'm like, Mom, I'm a rapper too, Mom. But yeah, you know,
Professor Macklemore.
Yeah, what's up?
You rethink things a little
Yeah.
bit, and not to say, you know, I want to be able to be myself. You know, I'm not a perfect person. You know, you become a dad, but that doesn't mean all of a sudden, like, you know, I have a perfect.
You have to start rapping lullabies.
Yeah, you know, I am who I am, and I don't want to censor that. But at the same time, I do want to keep in mind that my daughter will be, you know, she does listen to my music now, but she'll be able to understand it soon. And I don't want her to be like, damn, Dad, like, who are you?
Yeah, but you also have had incredible messages in your music.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that once your daughter gets the chance to see that, it's going to be an incredible thing for you to share with her.
Yes,
you know?
it will offset it. I'll
That's
just be
my
like,
dad. He does that too.
Yeah.
And
It-
rappers
it's a
have been doing
balance.
this for years. I mean, look at Snoop Dogg. His kids turned out okay.
Exactly.
There you go. So let Snoop Dogg be the barometer here. All right.
I'm better than Snoop, kind of. I
So
did.
You could be with the fam.
I did.
That's
That's
cool.
exactly what I did. And, you know, I just didn't want to be away from Sloan and my wife. And it was the perfect balance of being able to go downstairs, be in the rap world, and then come upstairs and be in the dad world. And, you know, bring Sloan down and play her songs. And she would either like bob her head or she'd be
That's
like, nope,
amazing.
nope, nope.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Well, we are such big fans, as you know, over the years. Macklemore is here. Gemini is out now. Thank you so much for coming by. And before you go, it is Gemini and Miss Tati, who gives horoscopes on our show on a regular basis.
Hello.
I guess
Hi.
she's put together a special horoscope. She's going to light her candle.
Yeah.
There we go. She put
I love
together a
this.
special horoscope to celebrate the release of Gemini.
I love this.
All right?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay, so Gemini, you are always curious and you want to experience everything that you can. So if you're going out to dinner tonight, order something that you would never order in a million years.
Okay.
That's the deep, heartfelt.
Okay. I was all anxious and nervous, and now I'm like, okay, I just got to order something random.
You have to go with what's pulling you, and that's what it was telling me today.
The headline tomorrow is like, Macklemore has an allergic reaction
Yeah.
to
Blames it on psychic. Hey, great to see you, BHH. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you, Ryan. Always.
Macklemore, it's out. Go check it out. It's 102.7 Kiss FM.